guys, welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a foundation review on the Dose of Colors Meet Your Hue foundation. It is officially foundation season. Foundations have been launching left and right, right and left. Everybody decided to come out with foundations right now. It is absolutely crazy. I'm like, girl, I need to pay rent. I need to pay for Wi-Fi, bitch. How? Like, stop coming out with foundations because they are my favorite product to review, and a bitch is gonna be broke soon. So I just decided to start off with the Dose of Colors foundation. As you can see, I am already wearing eye makeup, and that is because I reviewed some eyeshadow palettes. I reviewed the LA Girl Hot Hot Heat eyeshadow palettes. This video is actually going to be up next week, so be on the lookout for that. And for now, if you want to test this foundation with me, then all you have to do is stay tuned, consider subscribing, and if you do, then make sure to hit that notification bell to be notified every single time I post. And without any further ado, let's get right into this foundation review. Alright guys, so this is the Dose of Colors Meet Your Hue foundation. This is the box that it comes in. It is very pretty and very sleek, and I actually also am going to be reviewing their new foundation sponge, or just beauty sponge. This is the Dose of Colors Seamless Beauty Sponge. So the foundation retails for $36 and the sponge retails for $15. So let's open this box up. I got it in the color 123 medium tan, so I hope that this color is going to fit me because buying foundations online is very tricky. So yeah, this is what the bottle looks like. It is frosted glass. It feels very nice and heavy in the hand. It says Dose of Colors foundation, and then here it says Meet Your Hue. This foundation has the standard 1 fluid ounce, and again I got this one in the color 123 medium tan. And then opening up the sponge, this is what the sponge looks like. It is very soft and squishy. It is still dry, so it is still small, but it has a very interesting shape to it. So we're gonna see how that's gonna work. I'm gonna wet it in a second, but first let's see what they say about the foundation. It says, Meet Your Hue. Our lightweight medium to full coverage foundation delivers a blurring effect which reduces the appearance of fine lines and skin imperfections. Available in 42 shades. It says high pigment, matte finish, buildable, lightweight, and long wear. So it is vegan free. What? It is vegan, cruelty free, talc free, paraben free, fragrance free, and oil free. So it's free of a lot of things. So I have a combination oily skin. My T-zone is very oily, and then the rest of my face is pretty much normal. So this foundation does say that it is a matte finish, and it is buildable and lightweight and long wearing, which is everything that I like in a foundation. So the foundation does come with a pump, which is always nice. Let's pump out. Oh, that pumped out really quickly. I did not expect that. Normally you have to pump a few times before anything comes out, but oh well. This is what the color looks like. It kind of looks promising right here on the back of my hand, but I am going to apply it on my face to show you. All right, so this is a swatch of the foundation. Looking at it right now, it does seem to be a good color for me, so I am very relieved. Now I'm gonna grab some more foundations that I already use and show you those colors right here next to it. So next to it, I decided to put the NC42 MAC Fix Fluid because when I first saw this color, I was like, oh my god, that kind of looks like my NC42. And as you can see, they do look very similar, although I do have to say that the NC42 is slightly darker than the 123. So the third shade that I have here is the 332 from the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. As you can see, this one is way more olivey, and then this one tends to be a little more orange, and then this one looks more yellow, which I actually prefer. So the next one I have here is the Born This Way foundation from Too Faced in the color Praline. So the last one here is the Revolution Conceal and Define in the color 11.2. I just want to give you a good before of the sponge while it's still dry. This is what the sponge looks like wet. So the sponge is now very big and fluffy. I also already went ahead and I prepped my skin. I used the MAC Oil Control Lotion. I use this because I know what it does to my skin. It is very hydrating, but it still controls my oil. And because I don't know the foundation, I like to use stuff that I do know. So yeah, let's apply this baby. I am going to be applying one side with a sponge and then one side with a brush. I usually never apply my foundation with a sponge because I feel like it shears out my coverage and it also absorbs a lot of product. But in my reviews, I do like to use both just to be able to show you guys what the foundation does with both tools. So for this side, of course, I'm going to be using the Dose of Color sponge, and then on this side, I am going to be using my MAC 170 angled foundation brush. I love this brush. I zoomed you guys in again so that you can see a little bit better. So I am going to be starting off with one full pump on the back of my hand. As you can see, this foundation does run. It doesn't run very fast, but it is quite runny. And let's just start off with one pump on one side. When testing out new foundations, I always like to start off with one side of my face because again, I don't know the foundation, so it might dry up very fast and then we have a problem. So I am gonna start by using the sponge and let's see what it does. I didn't apply the full pump, I still have a little bit on the back of my hand, and let's see how far we can get with this. So the color is really good. I am very happy about that. I was so worried that I would order the wrong shade. I don't know if you can see this, but I have a red spot here that I didn't have a few minutes ago, and that is because when I wiped the foundation shades that I had, I wiped a little bit too hard and my skin is very, very sensitive. So that is what that is. So the foundation blends out really nice and really fast actually. The sponge is also very nice and soft. And I love that it has this big flat side here. So when we look at the bottom of the sponge, you can see the spots where the foundation has been soaked by the sponge. And I just find this very, very wasteful. I love makeup sponges, but I only use them after I've used the brush to like take off the excess, which the sponge is very good at doing. And I also always use a sponge for my concealer. So it's not that I don't like the sponge, I just don't like it for the initial application, you know? Alright, so this is one layer of foundation and this is no foundation. Foundation, no foundation. So I am going to apply the rest of the pump that's on the back of my hand just to see if we can build up this coverage. So the coverage is definitely buildable, as you can see, but I do feel like that this foundation has a lot more potential, but the sponge doesn't really get it there. So now we're gonna move on to this side and use the brush. Again, one full pump. And again, I'm gonna start off with just a little bit and then take my brush. Yeah. Right away I can see that this side has a lot more coverage. So this is what the foundation looks like. I still have the rest of that one pump on the back of my hand. So I have one layer on this side with a brush and then two layers on this side with the sponge. Am I saying that correct? Yes. Brush, one layer, sponge, two layers. And as you can see, the coverage looks the same when I applied one full pump on this side and only a half a pump on this side. So you get what I'm saying with the sponge. It soaks up a lot of product. It's not the Dose of Color sponge only, it's sponges in general. I actually really like how this sponge feels, and I actually cannot wait to use it for concealer. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take the rest of that pump that I have left and just use it up. So it's also nice to know that you have enough time to work with this foundation because it does not dry up that fast. I don't like when foundations do that. I just want to take my time. So now that I've applied everything with a brush, I'm going to take the sponge and go over everything to make sure that everything is blended to perfection. So the foundation does set, but I'm still going to set it with a powder because I always do. And as you can see, it does really have that matte finish, but in my opinion, it is not overly matte. I don't look like I need water. It looks nice and matte, if that makes sense. So just for the sake of the sponge, I am going to be doing my concealer on camera as well. I'm going to be taking my C12 Revolution Conceal and Define first. And let's see how this pointy tip is going to do. Oh yeah. So it is very easy to get in those corners. And the tip is very nice and firm, which gives you enough force to blend. Yes, I feel like this sponge is going to be one of my favorites. And because this tip is so pointy, it is also very easy to go right along that line and make it even sharper and clean it up. All right, that went well. Now I'm going to take my Born This Way concealer in the color Golden Beige. And I am going to be highlighting with this. So now that everything is blended, I'm gonna go ahead and finish the rest of my face and I will be right back. So I finished the rest of my face and this is what everything looks like. Nothing is patchy, nothing is looking weird. Everything looks very nice on top of this foundation. I do feel very matte at this point because I did set my face. So I am going to be spraying my face using my MAC Fix Plus. Whew. And I'm using my little fan that my cousin gave me. I'm so happy that I finally got a fan. I had so many fans, but I can't find one anymore. And by the way, this little Minnie Mouse hairband I also got from my cousin, but this one I just borrowed from her because there is no way in hell that she would give me this. She is 15, by the way, okay? So I really need to buy one of these when I go to Disneyland. Here we have Disneyland in the US, there is Disney World, but I really need to buy me one of these because it's super freaking cute and very handy dandy when you're doing your makeup. Very up close and personal, but I just wanted you guys to see for one last time what the foundation is looking like with everything finished. Like I said, it is looking pretty good. All right, so it is now pretty late to be doing a wear test, but I am going to be wearing this foundation again tomorrow. I'm going to be wearing it to work, so it's going to be on my face for a very long time. I am going to be wearing the exact same products that I wore today. However, I'm not going to be doing this on my eyes, obviously, because ain't what I got time in the morning. But as far as the base, I am going to be using the exact same products that I used today just to keep everything fair. So for now, I'm going to go a night-night and you will see me in a few seconds.
One eternity later.
Whew. I am so beat. Whew. I'm so tired, y'all. It is now past 10 p.m. There we go. And I've been wearing this foundation for over 14 hours now, so that is a very, very long time. This is what the foundation is looking like. I'm gonna zoom you guys in so that you can see the situation. So here is a close-up look. As you can see, my T-zone is very, very oily. I'm gonna grab a mirror. Yeah, this area here and here, very oily. My chin, upper lip, forehead, very oily, but as you look on my cheeks, you can see that it's not oily there at all because those are my normal areas. This is my problem area, so so I always get oily no matter the foundation that I'm wearing. Also bear in mind that I am wearing this foundation for over 14 hours. Like, who needs to wear a foundation for this long? Like, sometimes I do because I make very long days, but if this is what the foundation is looking like after 14 hours without any touch-ups, let alone when I actually touch up and blot during the day, it's gonna be looking fabulous. And also I have to mention one thing. I normally always crease in my mouth area on this side, but as you can see, there is no crease. I am shooketh. This is literally the first foundation that does not crease on me in this area. So I started creasing in this area about, I don't know, maybe a year ago. That's when it started, and I was like, okay girl, you are getting old. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and blot my face just to show you if this foundation is savable, if you can blot it during the day. So I don't have any blotting sheets, but I did get a piece of toilet paper. It has 3 layers, so I just separated all the layers, and I'm just gonna use one sheet first to blot my face. Okay, so let's see. This is the amount of oil that I have on one side of my face. Now let's go do the other side. This is what this one looks like. Gross. And now the star of the show, which I feel like is my forehead. So I don't know if you can see it that well on a piece of toilet paper, but we have quite some oil on here. And as you can see, my face is kind of looking pretty revived right now. So I am gonna take a powder and blot it just to see what happens. I'm gonna be taking my loose blotting powder from MAC. Let's just see what happens. I never like to go in with powder before blotting first because I feel like that is just gonna build the cake. All right, so this is what my face is looking like after blotting. As you can see, I am good to go for another couple of hours, except for I'm gonna try to get some editing done, and then I'm gonna get my ass to bed because I am beat. I'm so freaking tired. This was a long ass day, so I can't wait to just wash my face and rub my eyes and just be like, all right guys, so here are my final thoughts about this foundation. I made a list because when I try to talk about a product, I get all over the place. So we are going to start off with what they claim. So they claim that this foundation has high pigment and is buildable. I would definitely say that this foundation has a lot of pigment to it. It is also definitely buildable. So one layer gave me a nice medium coverage, and then a second layer gave me that full coverage that I like, but without looking heavy, without feeling it on my face. I do feel it now, but that is because I've been wearing makeup for so long, but I don't really feel it on my face. I more so feel it on my eyes because I'm just very tired. So it is very, very lightweight, which is very nice. They also claim that this foundation has a matte finish. Yes, this foundation is definitely matte, but it is matte in a right way. So you look matte, but you don't look dry like you have been walking in the desert for days without water. So that is very good. They also claim that it is long wearing. I mean, girl, I've been wearing this foundation for over 14 hours, and this is what it looks like after blotting one time. That is freaking amazing if you ask me. So that was everything about the claims: high pigment, matte finish, buildable, lightweight, and a long wearing. So now about the color. The color is absolutely perfect for me. Again, I have the color 123 medium tan. So if you are close to my skin tone, about an NC42, then this color would definitely be the right shade for you. It has just enough of that yellowness that I need for my undertone. And I also looked at my foundation at work today, and I literally could not see a difference between my face and my neck, which, girl, that almost never happens, especially not if I am purchasing a foundation online without ever seeing it or touching it in person. So that is amazing. Then I would also like to talk about oxidization. I really hate foundations that oxidize because you pick one shade and then when it dries it becomes a whole nother shade. Then you have to go back, pick a lighter shade, and it's just a hassle. So I really love the fact that this foundation doesn't oxidize. I didn't feel like it went darker or orange at all. It stayed true to color, which is very much appreciated. And of course, let's not forget the sponge. This guy retails for $15, and of course it is now dry, so it shrunk again, but I really liked it to apply my concealer. I also liked it to go over my foundation and blend it out even further. This bottom becomes very big, which makes you finish your blending in no time, and then this pointy side is very nice and tapered, which makes you get into those corners very easily. So also this sponge is definitely going to be one of my favorites. So the final verdict is the Dose of Colors Meet Your Hue foundation and the Seamless Beauty Sponge are definitely approved. Alrighty, so this concludes this review. I really hope that you guys found it helpful. I hope that I made it a little bit easier for you to find your shade online if you are close to my skin tone. If you did like this video, then please show that by hitting that like button, and also subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more of my future videos, and hit that notification bell to be notified every single time I post. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you in my next video. Bye!